Belgium, they come from 2 behind against Senegal to advance to the final 16. It was Yuri Tillemans, Nigel, in the end, with a penalty in extra time and maybe even the last kick of the game. Is there any more dramatic way to win than that?
Oh, what a game we just witnessed there. Game of 2 halves, you could say. Senegal was sensational in the first half, get another goal in the second half, and then the changes were made by the Belgium coach, Rudy Garcia, and then they just stepped up to the plate. But I would have to say that this is more on Senegal players letting themselves down. This isn't about manager. Troy said it off air as well. We were talking about it. It's not about the manager, the players. They lost control of that game. They should have been more determined to see out the game at a higher professional level, knowing what's at stake. And it's, for me, I get the sense sometimes where I have conversations with my friends, and it's not like a stigma I'm trying to say, but it's like Senegal, Ivory Coast, all these nations, we've given them their flowers, how well they've done to get in the World Cup, to be where they're at right now, and the progression they've made in so many years. I want beyond that now. I want that next stage. I want them to know and feel comfortable that, yes, we're here, we deserve to be here, but let's get that winning mentality. Let's get that mindset now to know what's at stake. And when I say something like that, it's just to get people to understand it's like France. We talk about how great France are and how good they're as a team, but what people don't realise is the attention to detail. France went 2-0 up against Sweden yesterday. And we talk about the modern day of football, everyone wants to play out the back. What did the French do after going 2-0 up against Sweden? Goalkeeper said, everyone get up. They squeezed up, they kicked the ball long and made everyone play for second balls, which for me is part of the mindset and the mentality and the little bits of detail that some people watching might not understand that plays a part. And I think for Senegal and some of these nations, they need to pay attention more to detail, because that's a game that they literally threw away.
Yeah, 100% agree with what Nigel's saying. I think I would add to Belgium got desperate. I think the changes at the start were to try and get something new, and then towards the end, the 80th minute, they're just throwing bodies on and trying to just make something happen. And again, we spoke about it, big Lukaku comes on the pitch having that focal point. He scores, and the second he scored, you could see the Belgian team just rise. Every one of them felt 6 foot plus. Right, we're good, we're going to go for it now. And unfortunately for Senegal, they just couldn't see out the game. But because their game's based on being in good shape and attacking, when you're asking them now, hey, calm down, keep the ball for 4 or 5 passes, they struggled. And be one that Senegal coach will want back. When you think about the games that they've had, they played against France, made a fantastic impression on people, probably should have won, probably should have killed it off in the first half, they didn't. And now the same pattern's repeating itself. It's 100% on the players. They have to know how to deal with this. And it's a shame for Sadio Mane as well, because it's probably going to be his last World Cup. And to go out, even with the African Cup of Nations and now this, he'll feel that it's been a little bit of a disappointment.
It just happened to the Congo. Now it happened to Senegal as well. I think you can bring Mexico into that conversation to understand what I'm talking about in terms of when you watch them play, they can put together 45 minutes, 60 minutes, unbelievable tempo, unbelievable levels, but then they never win the World Cup. They never went to semifinal. They never, the frustration with the African teams, they never get the job done. Yeah. Now you flip the side and look at teams that are maybe not crazy impressive on paper. Aside from Messi, Argentina, right? You look at them on paper, you're like, wow, they're okay. But they won the World Cup. Because they have something that these teams that drop these games don't have, and that's game management. Now, whether that's from a mental side, from a tactical side, from a physical side, whatever it is, grinding out result, that's what these teams that never win, because pound for pound, player for player, the African teams are as good as anyone, as talented as anyone. But then we see this team all the time, that in the big moments, especially tournament football, then somehow these moments are happening. So it's a frustration for sure, but game management has to be better. And I think it's what the U.S. will struggle with. I think it's what Mexico will struggle with in the next game. And I think it's with pound for pound, you watch these guys, eye test, you're like, wow, they're awesome to watch. USA against Paraguay, wow, they're awesome to watch. It's game management and its consistencies. The U.S. still hasn't played a game the level that it played against Paraguay. They can't find it all the time. Mexico against Ecuador looked great. And the other games, maybe not so much. They can't find it all the time. The difference between them and the top teams that win are that they do it every time they play. They get all the details right. They get all the game management right, and that's the frustration I have with Senegal after watching today, and even Congo. Is like you watch them, you're like, wow, they could make a run, and then they get a little thing wrong, or they get a little game management detail wrong, or they get a little decision wrong. The decision, the penalty at the end, the decision to leave your feet there, is it a penalty? Is it not a penalty? That's what everyone's going to talk about tonight. Doesn't matter. The fact that the defender left his feet there in that moment was so unnecessary, and now you leave it up to the referee. So really sad ending for, I think, both African teams today that we saw. And it's just frustrating for me in general because they've got so much talent.
Has it changed the narrative slightly, do you think, of this Belgium side, though? Because even at half-time, we were all criticising them, saying, you know, this is truly the end of this golden generation. It hasn't looked good for them. They've got good players. It just isn't coming together. It felt like they were out, right, at half-time. Now they're back in, Nigel, and they're through to the round of 16. Should we be a bit more positive about them?
I think it's fair criticism that they've had because we still haven't known what this Belgium side is about. And we've had the biggest debate is, does Lukaku play? Does Lukaku not play? And like Troy said, I think for me, we can see the impact he has. But other players haven't really stepped up to the plate. And again, for me, it's more of a game that Senegal threw away than actually Belgium really earned the right and deserved to win. That's just my personal opinion on it. It might sound crazy to some people because they come back and they found a way and got the winner. But it was a game that, what Grella says is the point. If they manage that game better, 2-0 up, knockouts of the World Cup, you've got to see that game out. Goalkeeper can't come out and make the mistake he did for the second goal and half punch it and not really claim it. And that's, again, about the mindset of managing the game, knowing the moments. And then, if anything, we know as players, you're looking at the time, it's extra time. No silly challenges, especially going to ground in your box. That's part of it. That's part of managing the game and being aware to say, listen, we might not get the win, but at least we'll take it to penalties and we take our luck there.
Oh, what an awful ending to the World Cup story for Senegal. Not only to lose the 2 goals, but like you said as well, to go out in that fashion where you think penalties kind of leaves it up in the air, doesn't it? You can see it going both ways, but to not even get to that point feels extra heartbreaking.
I'll tell you what, if you're the Americans now, you're buzzing because you ain't saw nothing off Belgium that makes you go, ooh, I'm worried about that. They'll be open. They'll try and play. They play a game that's conducive to America looking great.
And they played extra time.
And they played extra time, extra minutes in the legs. But, you know, also they turned the ball over a lot, a bit sloppy in midfield. Slower team. I think if I'm America now, obviously focus on getting a job done against Bosnia, but I'm starting to get really excited about just how deep we can go in this competition.
Do you feel the same way, that this is the more favourable matchup?
Yeah, because I think what the U.S. are good at is we keep talking about the athleticism of the U.S. and how fast they can press the football, but maybe Senegal could do it as good as they could. So I think that's the struggle. So against Belgium, the matchup is a little bit more favourable because Belgium will good at some things and the U.S. are good at other things.
All right, then, let's have a look at the bracket and where we stand. Several teams now have confirmed their place in the round of 16. Just a reminder of those teams as well, with Belgium being one of them. We're going to see if it's the US or if it is Bosnia and Herzegovina to join them in the next round.